Hollywood parties hard, but its biggest hangover isn't from the after parties, it's from a drinking problem the industry doesn't want you to see. Alcohol, the silent saboteur, doesn't care how rich or how famous you are. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on 10 Hollywood stars who hit rock bottom. Number 1. Amanda Bynes.
I saw this girl laying down right here with her left pant leg on fire. When I look at her, I'm like, it's Amanda Bynes.
From Hollywood's darling to a sudden disappearance. Amanda Bynes wasn't just famous, she was everywhere. The queen of comedy, the star of The Amanda Show, to She's the Man, What a Girl Wants. She was Hollywood's golden girl. But in the blink of an eye, the spotlight turned toxic. DUI arrests, hit-and-run charges, unhinged late-night tweets. The industry that once fought to cast her now wouldn't touch her. Amanda Bynes didn't just lose roles because of alcohol, she lost her entire career before she was 25. After Easy A in 2010, she disappeared, not for a break, but to escape a spiral of alcohol, drugs, and chaos. She's since traded red carpets for recovery, but her story is a haunting reminder that in Hollywood, the fall can be faster than the rise. 2. Zac Efron, The Hidden Struggle. Zac Efron was the picture of youth, health, and success, the charming face of High School Musical, the rising star destined for a perfect Hollywood future. But in 2013, the truth came crashing down. Behind the scenes, Zac was slipping into a dangerous spiral of alcohol and drugs. Some nights ended in complete blackouts, leaving him waking up with no memory of where he'd been or who he'd been with, wondering how long he could keep living like this. Fame had come fast, and with it, pressure. Endless cameras, endless expectations, and endless nights. In 2013, Zac Efron shocked fans by quietly entering rehab for alcohol and cocaine abuse. No arrests, no public meltdowns, just a young man drowning in fame, looking for an escape. Today, he's sober, speaking openly about mental health, but his story is proof that even the brightest smiles can hide the deepest pain. And then there's Hollywood's rebels, whose drunken nights were anything but quiet. 3. Shia LaBeouf.
Racist, bitch! You racist!
Chaos in the spotlight. Shia LaBeouf was once the bold, young talent Hollywood couldn't get enough of. From Even Stevens to blockbuster hits, his career was unstoppable, until alcohol began to write his script for him. Brilliant, unpredictable, volatile Shia LaBeouf's arrests for public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and bar fights made him a tabloid staple. In 2014, the cracks began to show. A drunken outburst at Studio 54 in New York ended in arrest and his first treatment for alcoholism. But the pattern didn't stop. In 2017, he was arrested in Savannah, Georgia, for public intoxication. The world watched his mugshots flash across headlines, and his public apologies fade into more controversy. For Shia, it wasn't just alcohol, it was pain, PTSD, and demons from his past. And in 2025, after a series of legal battles, he finally entered a medical facility for alcoholism and trauma. But our next star didn't spiral in the streets. She was trapped under glass while the world watched her break. 4. Britney Spears.
Yo, guys, please, guys, don't do this. No.
The breaking point. In the mid-2000s, Britney Spears was under siege. Alcohol abuse, mental health struggles, and relentless media harassment pushed her to the edge. The head shaved. The breakdown. Her spiral was so severe that she lost control over her money, her own decisions, even her own body, all under a conservatorship that stripped her freedom for 13 years, from 2008 until its termination in November 2021. At a crucial 2021 court hearing, she testified, "I just want my life back," sparking a wave of support that helped secure her victory. Her memoir later revealed her physical and emotional toll under the arrangement, describing it as abusive and soul-crushing. And if you think that's the worst Hollywood could do to someone, wait until you hear about the man whose drunken tirade nearly erased his career. 5. Mel Gibson. The fall from grace. Mel Gibson, an Oscar-winning actor and director. To many, a genius. To others, a cautionary tale. His battle with alcohol began at an early age 13. By 1984, he was already banned from driving in Ontario after a DUI-related crash. In the aftermath of his infamous tirade, Hollywood shut every door in his face, turning a box office king into an outcast overnight. Colleagues recall him drinking 5 pints of beer for breakfast. The worst came in 2006, a DUI arrest that made global headlines after an alcohol-fueled tirade filled with offensive remarks. The backlash was immediate. Roles disappeared. The industry turned its back. Mel's story is one of talent and turbulence, proof that even decades of success can't shield you from the consequences of addiction. And the next meltdown? It wasn't just career-ending, it became a public circus. 6. Charlie Sheen.
Wow. And then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
The meltdown. If Hollywood ever had a public meltdown, Charlie Sheen was the poster child. A near-fatal overdose in 1998. At his peak of self-destruction, he was burning through thousands of dollars a night on drugs and alcohol, while his multi-million-dollar TV career collapsed in front of the entire world. Rehab stays that never seemed to last. Public rants, a career in flames. And in 2011, his firing from 2.5 Men cemented the image of a man out of control. But in 2017, everything changed. Too drunk to drive his daughter to an appointment, Sheen looked in the mirror and didn't like what he saw. He quit alcohol cold turkey and never went back. Today, Charlie Sheen wakes up early, works out, and raises his twin boys. Nearly 6 years sober, he says fatherhood gave him a reason to fight and to finally win. And if you thought that was bad, just wait until you hear what comes next. 7. Ben Affleck. The lifelong battle. Ben Affleck, Oscar-winning actor, director, and one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. But behind that charming smile lies a decades-long war with alcohol. First entering rehab in 2001, then again in 2017, and yet again in 2018, Affleck has called alcoholism a lifelong and difficult struggle. The world saw his painful relapses splashed across tabloids, each photo a reminder that fame cannot shield you from addiction. Every relapse didn't just humiliate him publicly, it tore apart relationships, destroyed film deals, and dragged him back to square one in his fight to stay sober. But even in his darkest moments, Affleck never stopped fighting. His journey is far from over, but it's a battle he refuses to lose. And if you think Affleck's struggle was intense, wait until you hear about the teen star whose fall from grace was broadcast to the entire world. 8. Lindsay Lohan.
It wasn't a vacation, it wasn't some sort of a joke. And I respect her where I've been taking it seriously.
The fall of a teen queen. She was America's sweetheart, a rising star with limitless potential. But Lindsay Lohan's promising career unraveled before our eyes. Arrested multiple times for DUIs, in and out of rehab at least 6 times, Lohan's struggle with alcohol became the tragic headline of her life. By age 21, the late-night partying had caught up with her, and she admitted that alcohol was a gateway to cocaine use 10 to 15 times, she revealed on Oprah's show. By 2014, she'd spent over 250 days in rehab across those 6 court-ordered stints, including long stays at prominent facilities like Promises and Cliffside Malibu. Her name went from movie posters to mugshots. By the lowest point, she was living out of bags, shuffling between courtrooms and rehab centers, a ghost of the superstar Hollywood thought she'd become. Hollywood had all but given up, but whispers of a comeback are growing. And yet in recent years, whispers of a comeback have emerged. Can the girl who once had it all find redemption? Coming up next. The man who went from a jail cell to becoming one of the highest paid actors in the world. 9. Robert Downey Jr., the ultimate comeback. The man who would become Iron Man was, for years, a man broken by addiction. Alcohol, cocaine, heroin, arrests, rehab, and jail time filled his 1990s. Studios refused to insure him, making him a walking liability, a man so consumed by addiction, even Hollywood's biggest risk-takers wouldn't bet on him. In the late 90s, Robert Downey Jr.'s addiction to alcohol and drugs was so severe, many believed his career was over. Arrests piled up. He served jail time. But then, the unthinkable. By the early 2000s, Robert Downey Jr. was nearly written off by Hollywood. In July 2003, he got clean crediting his wife, therapy, meditation, 12-step programs, yoga, and Wing Chun martial arts for turning his life around. In 2015, he was even pardoned by California's governor for prior offenses. From near oblivion, he became Iron Man, reshaping the face of modern cinema and proving real redemption is possible from the brink of self-destruction to the pinnacle of Hollywood power. This is the ultimate redemption arc. Our final story is the darkest. It's not just about addiction, it's about dancing with death itself. 10. Demi Lovato, Dancing with Death. Demi Lovato's battles with addiction were not hidden. They were lived out in public. She was just 13 when she first turned to alcohol, seeking an escape from pain, bullying, and mental health struggles. By 18, Demi Lovato was one of the most recognizable young stars in the world. But fame was not the cure. It was fuel for the fire. In November 2010, while on tour, Demi's world imploded. She entered rehab and began the first chapter in what would become a long, public fight for sobriety. She celebrated 5 years sober in 2017. In July 2018, her heart stopped after a fentanyl-laced opioid overdose. Doctors said she had just 5 to 10 minutes to live. She survived, but the consequences were devastating. Strokes, heart attack, brain damage, and lasting vision problems. The overdose left her partially blind, a permanent, haunting reminder that she came within minutes of dying. But the scars, both physical and emotional, remain. Today, Demi speaks openly about relapse, recovery, and the daily fight to stay alive. From the quiet drink to the public collapse, from the first rehab visit to the final breath. Alcohol doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're the highest paid actor or the most beloved pop star. Some won their fight. Some are still fighting. And somewhere, even now, another star is pouring another glass, their story not yet written. If this story opened your eyes, imagine the ones we haven't told yet. Hit like to help this truth reach more people. Subscribe so you're here when the next story breaks. Tap the notification bell, because in Hollywood, the next fall from grace can happen overnight. And share this video so the world sees what really happens behind the bright lights.